You know, it's actually amazing how someone like Kathleen Kennedy can single-handedly dismantle one of the most iconic franchises in cinematic history. Like, I get that not every leader is going to be perfect, but Star Wars is not just any brand. This is a franchise with decades of legacy, and she managed to reduce it to lawsuits, flop projects, and fan backlash. How do you screw up that badly?
It's like she's on some personal mission to see how far she can sink the ship before it hits the ocean floor. And the best part, she doesn't even seem to care. She's up there throwing temper tantrums with Bob Iger, acting like she's the victim in all this. Really, Kathleen, you think you deserve sympathy after turning Star Wars into a bad joke? The fans didn't walk away because they're toxics or whatever excuse Disney wants to push. They walked away because you turned the galaxy far, far away to a dumpster fire.
Right? It's not just the fans either. Even the board of directors is losing their patience. And when the Disney board of all people starts saying, hey, maybe this isn't working, you know it's bad, these are the same people who greenlit the Marvels, and even they're tired of her nonsense. But does she care? Nope. She's too busy trying to cling to her contract like it's the only thing that can protect her from the inevitable fallout.
But when
Oh,
you
I'm sure
get
she's
it
well
all
aware of the
together like
fallout.
that,
That's why
in
she's
front of
desperate
people,
to stay until
it's
2027.
overwhelming.
She's holding on for dear life, hoping one of these random shows like Skeleton Crew will somehow redeem her. But let's be honest, it won't. It's going to be another empty shell with a forced agenda. And when it crashes and burns, she'll probably blame the audience again. Oh, you didn't like it because you're stuck in the past. Now, Kathleen, we don't like it because it sucks.
You attack
Exactly.
me without a weapon.
And now there are lawsuits piling up. It's like the cherry on top of this disastrous Sunday. Whether it's improper character usage, messing with actors, or even Elon Musk getting involved, somehow it's like a courtroom drama over at Lucasfilm these days. And the crazy part, people are still wondering whether she'll step down. The fact that this is even a question is mind-blowing. How many more red flags do you need before you realize she's got to go?
Yeah, and then you've got Bob Iger trying to do damage control. It's almost pathetic. He's walking around like, well, maybe she should consider stepping down for the sake of the company's image. No kidding, Bob. Where was this energy 5 years ago? You know, before she tanked half of your properties. Now he's all, oh, we're going to focus on movies again. Dude, no one's going to trust Disney movies anymore if they keep letting Kathleen Kennedy stay in charge. Brett Round, she couldn't market water to a guy stranded in the desert.
And speaking of marketing, have you seen how they're dialing back on promo funds for Skeleton Crew? Even Disney doesn't believe in this show. They're basically cutting their losses before it even airs. Yet somehow Kennedy's still pushing for it like it's going to be her magnum opus. Spoiler alert, it's not. It's just another cog in the machine of mediocrity she's built at Lucasfilm.
Right, and Iger's over here tiptoeing around the whole thing, acting like his hands are tied. Newsflash, Bop, you're the CEO. If you wanted her gone, she'd be gone. But no, instead we get these heated exchanges and emergency meetings. Like, they're all surprised this is happening. It's like watching a group of people standing around a house fire arguing about who should call the fire department while the place burns down. They're all complicit, and yet they act shocked every time something new blows up.
Exactly. They're treating this like some minor hiccup when it's a full-blown disaster. I'm honestly amazed there are people on the board who still want her to stay. What are they even thinking? Like, oh yeah, let's give her a few more years to see if she can somehow pull off a miracle. What miracle? She's had years, and all she's done is drive fans away, ruin characters, and create more drama than an episode of The Kardashians. There's no coming back from this.
Seriously, what's the end game here? Are we just going to keep giving her chance after chance until the only people left watching Star Wars are the three people who still think The Last Jedi was a masterpiece? Kennedy's already proven she's incapable of handling this brand. It's like giving the keys to the Titanic to the guy who already crashed it once, but sure, let's give her control until 2027 and see how much more damage she can do.
At this point, Lucasfilm is like a sinking ship, and she's the captain who refuses to go down with it. Instead, she's bailing water while arguing with the crew about whose fault it is that the ship's going under. It's honestly painful to watch, and don't get me started on the fact that no one wants to take her job. Can you blame them? Who in their right mind would want to inherit this disaster?
That's the real catch-22, isn't it? No one wants to take over because she's made such a mess of things. Anyone stepping into that role would basically be cleaning up her disasters for the next decade. It's like inheriting a broken down car where every part needs to be replaced, but the previous owner is still insisting it just needs a new coat of paint. But sure, let's let her stay until 2027 and see how much worse it can get.
Honestly, Disney deserves whatever comes next if they let this continue. They've had every opportunity to course correct, but instead they've let her run Lucasfilm into the ground. The fans aren't coming back as long as she's there. It's over. They need to rip off the Band-Aid, get rid of her, and try to salvage whatever's left of Star Wars. Otherwise, we're just going to be sitting here in 2027 talking about the next big Lucasfilm lawsuit and how Kennedy's still somehow hanging on.
Yeah, and the worst part is by 2027, there might not even be much left to save. If they keep letting her make these disastrous decisions, the Star Wars brand will be so damaged, it'll take a generation to fix it. But hey, at least we'll have Skeleton Crew to remind us how great things used to be. Oh, wait, never mind.
Well, here's hoping Disney eventually comes to its senses and realizes they're being held hostage by their own bad decisions. Until then, we'll just have to sit back and watch Kathleen Kennedy take this once great franchise and grind it into the dust.
Yeah, here's to watching the slow, painful death of one of the greatest franchises in history. Thanks, Kathleen. You've really outdone yourself.